been a little while since we've done one of these lives. It's been too cold. So, glad to finally be back out. It is hotter this time around. I know I just got done saying that it's been so cold. Now it's hot. But it was like cold, you know? Oh boy. I'm gonna go down in the woods here where it's cool. It's going. Oh man. Well, I'll also see if anybody shows up. I don't see, here's the thing about these, right? Is like, do I need to pre-schedule them? But then I can't really plan them. It's a tough spot. It's a tough spot to be in with these. I hope that people just happen to see that I go live and come hang out. But it's kind of like just expecting people to be mind readers. I mean, there are like notification systems out there and stuff like that, but it is tough. It is tough. Anywho, question of the day. What's your favorite anime? It's an anime that stands out for you. I have several favorites, and several that I always go back to recommending people when they ask what anime to watch. It all kind of depends on their interests. Why is it so windy now? I swear it was not windy. It was not windy literally 2 minutes ago, and now it's windy. I can hear it in my ear. Ay, ay, ay. My favorite anime is probably Fullmetal Alchemist. I feel like that's a mainstay of mine. It's hard not to love it. It was definitely one of my first that really took me by storm. That's a big one. We got people coming up here, so I'm going to try not to look like an insane person talking to my phone. But I guess that's also kind of the gamble of going on a walk with your stream going live. As long as I'm not like, what's his name, FouseyTube? Because that would be crazy, right? Just go around screaming things that makes everybody nervous. That's less cool. Significantly less cool. Maybe. This social dog just wants to go talk to everybody that walks by. Let me know if you're here in the chat. Give me a hello. Let me know your favorite anime. As mentioned. Oh, nope, not on the road. Not on the road. Go in the grass. Go in the grass if you're going to go. We're going around screaming today? Yeah. Yep, screaming whatever I can to make people nervous. I feel like that's Fousey's game, isn't it? Though I also feel guilty. I feel like I can't really make fun because I think he might be mentally unwell. And I certainly don't want to poke fun at anything like that. Erased. Erased is another of my favorite all-time anime that I always recommend to people. It's such a safe bet as far as people that love mysteries. And also typically for normies. People that aren't ready for anything heavier than an episode of CSI. I'm like, well, get ready for the best episode of CSI you've ever seen, called Erased. And that works. I also really love Violet Evergarden. I love that one very specifically because I'm a pastor, though. I think that if I were to train pastors on pastoral care, which for those of you that aren't in the church, that's whenever we go and visit people in their homes, in the hospitals. It's how we provide care from a pastoral perspective of just loving people spiritually. And I think that Violet Evergarden is perhaps the best resource out there for exploring pastoral care. Dragon Ball Z is probably my favorite shonen. Cheese, you've been around. You have made that comment several times, and I have got to be real with you. I could never. I love the thought, and I love that you are making suggestions, and I think that that is so wonderful. But if I haven't gotten canceled for doing Has Been, if I haven't gotten canceled for doing My Dress Up Darling, Terrifier is going to be the thing that ends my nerd ministry career. I would get in so much trouble. It's so gory. It's so controversial. That being said, I don't think that it is impossible of it being a nerdy sermon. I just worry I couldn't do it. Not with my platform. I mean, those movies are a lot. They are quite a lot. It's one of those movies that makes my stomach hurt. So I feel like even watching it to research it would make me uncomfy. Ew. Let's see. You cannot be the one to eventually break me holding back on Violet Evergarden for such a specific pitch, right? I mean, it's so wonderful in such a random way. Like whenever I watched Violet Evergarden, I was like, oh, it's pretty art. But then as I was watching it and I was going through seminary at the same time, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is just pastoral care. They're just teaching how to do pastoral care. Shonen Hunter X Hunter, Hunter, HXH. Nice. I do really like Yu Yu Hakusho, but I can't stray from my DBZ roots. I do really respect the suggestion, Cheese. I love where you're coming from because you're thinking outside the box, and I love that kind of thinking. I love to talk about things that kind of get people's attentions because they're like, surely a pastor's not talking about this. But hoo boy. That's a rough one. Whoop, nope, in the grass. This dog refuses to poop in the grass. I don't know why she poops on the road. So weird. Gobi Church says, I only ever watched Violet Evergarden because you promoted it, and I will continue. One of these days I'll do a cohort of people that watch it, that are pastors, just for the purpose of edification and study. I love it so much. Let's see, what else? Another favorite anime, Madoka Magica. Puella Magi, Madoka Magica. It's got to be one of my favorites of all time. I love it for the trope busting that it does. So good. Humans refuse to do it too, to be frank. I might have missed what I said. I would say My Hero. Love My Hero. Great choice. My Hero has gone the way of Naruto for me, where it kept going. It just keeps going. And I've completely lost all connection with the characters. Like, I think My Hero starts out amazing. And it doesn't ever really flop. It just won't end. You know what I mean? Freerun was very much up there. Yes. Oh, I see humans refuse to go. So we do. Great point. Yeah, Freerun has definitely been my favorite of the past year. Super enjoyed that from beginning to end. I can't really I've already explored it. But that one definitely doesn't have the same pastoral implications that I think that Violet Evergarden did. What else is there? I feel like I've hit on most of the big ones. Trying to think if there's any more that aren't coming immediately to mind. Oh, I know, a sleeper. One that a lot of people haven't seen, and I don't know if I like the anime as much as I like the manga for this one, but it was called Black Cat. And I just loved that story. I loved those characters. It was one when I was just super obsessed with detective stuff. And I thought they did a really good job with the detectives in that show. Like almost bounty hunters. I love a good anime bounty hunter. JLM says, hi, I'm in Lincolnton right now. I should come find you. You could try. I'm hiding. I'm in the woods. Apothecary Diaries F1 this week had a very strong starting premise, debating continuing it. I did finish. I finished Apothecary, what we've got of it so far. Super enjoyed it. I don't think it'll go up in my top 10 by any means. Maybe my top 100 though. I do very much enjoy the Ace Attorney of it all. Did you see what I was saying based off that first episode? That it's kind of like a, it feels like an Ace Attorney episode. Episodical. Serial. At the hospital for a church member. Ooh, which hospital? Because you actually may be very close. Depending on which hospital you're at. You might be right down the road. Let's see. Being a dad of 3 boys is my favorite anime. Yeah, I already said Dragon Ball Z though, right? They're just constantly checking power levels and screaming. Ooh, what a good question. My favorite anime character? Now that is tough. Oh, man. I'm going to have to give some thought to that one. I like so many of them so much that it's really tough to pick just one. I'm not really a sucker for the naive protag. I'm not like a huge, like I like Luffy, you know, I like early Naruto, but that's not what I'm seeking out, you know what I mean? Oh, man. My favorite character growing up was Goten, randomly. One of the Dragon Ball Z characters has the least substance to him. Maybe that was why I liked him, because I could create so much of his lore myself. Go figure. I'll keep thinking about that one, because I'm fascinated. Scarlet Knight, you've piqued my curiosity. I'm gonna keep thinking. Sven from Black Cat was one of my favorites for a long time as well. But I also love a good villain, a good compelling villain. Not Hisoka. I know a manga, gory but not as gory as Terrifier. It's called Killing Morph. I've never heard of that one. Interesting. I thought for sure you were gonna go with something by what's his name? What's his name? What's the guy that does all the insane horror manga I can't think of? Okuyasu from JoJo 4. So JoJo is one that I've only ever seen the first 2 seasons, I think, and I've never read the manga. I'm way behind on JoJo. Cool idea, just the idea of a slasher villain with biolocation. That is pretty cool. You might like a game that I saw somebody play last night, just judging off of your 2 recommendations, or 2 answers so far. Gosh, what was it called? Children of the Corn. It wasn't though. It was something like that though, but where you were a masked like Sally Face murderer, and the premise was kind of like Hotline Miami, where you had to Junji Ito. Thank you, Faith Cat. That was the name I was searching for. But yeah, I think you'd be down for that kind of game if you like shooting games. It was a angle shooter, so premise of the game was kind of like Hotline Miami, only it was FPS, where you would try to shoot one of the cultists, and then your bullet would actually go with your spirit, and then you'd have to aim at the next person and the next person and the next person, and angle it right so that you could actually get them. Man, I wish I could remember the name of it for you though. I'm sorry. Big Link from Legend of Zelda Energy on the Goten answer. Yeah, so bland. Definitely no longer my favorite, but... And you know what else it might have been? Is that I was always kind of like, I was the nice kid. And so I didn't want to take from the people that would want to be Trunks. But Trunks and Goten always go together, especially when they're kids. And so I was like, well, I'll be Goten so that they can be Trunks. So, big Luigi energy. Big little brother energy. Oh, let's see. JoJo as a franchise, definitely an exercise in watching a creative adapt on himself over and over again. JoJo 1 and 2 and kind of 3 towards 4 up to the end of 6. Like, man. Love comparing Araki Oda. Interesting. I enjoyed the first 2 seasons. I feel like I would enjoy the manga more. If I'd ever set aside the time, maybe I would get into it. Big Ouija. I mean, pretty cool. You're all good. I wish I could remember the name of it. I'm sorry. Oh, let's see. Hotline Miami had one of the best soundtracks ever made for games and a good lesson about how violence begets violence. Yes, and I wonder if that is where this game was going to go, because I only watched like the first 30 minutes of it. My friend played on a stream. So, yeah, interesting stuff. I've thought about doing a Nerdy Sermon Rewind on Hotline Miami, because I think that violence begetting violence and... Katana Zero, one of my favorite parts of Katana Zero is when they Hotline Miami. They took that trope from Hotline Miami where you would rewind over all the horror that you've caused. Like, love that. What a fun dissection of the violent video gamer. Oh, let's see. Sounds something like Yu Yu Hakusho. I love Yu Yu Hakusho. One of my favorites. Another one that didn't end great, though, I'm afraid. It was okay, but I don't think anybody liked the Sensui arc as much as the rest of the story. Oh, what's up, Rushmore Show? How's it going? What's your favorite anime out there, if you had to pick one? Gets different in waves that up the magnitude of insane. Yeah, that's for sure. I definitely see the Oda comparison there. Yeah, it's funny being caught up on One Piece while watching the One Piece live action and being like, we really did start here, huh? Like, yeah. Luffy was in a barrel for a while there at the beginning, and now, a bit insane. Am I Chinese? Do I look Chinese? I've never been asked that. No, I'm American. Reminding me I never got to Mob Psycho. Yeah, I haven't watched season 3 either. I watched season 1 and 2. One Punch. I like the show. I love the manga. One Punch is one of the best out there manga-wise. I think it's so good. So detailed, and the art is just insane. Are you One Piece real? Yep. Yep. It goes places. Dead by Daylight. So my problem with any of those, Dead by Daylight, gosh, I mean, I hate to say that it's even similar to this, but Among Us, whatever, those social deduction games, whether it's social deduction or running from the killer or whatever, I am terrified. I'm no good at those. I like horror movies. I like horror stories. But if I try to play a game, the tension makes my blood pressure skyrocket. Fell off One Punch. Fascinating. Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a consistent one that I catch up with every single time they drop a new chapter. Same with Dragon Ball Super, even though I think it's not as good as DBZ. It's still pretty good. Have I watched Bleach? I never finished Bleach. I don't think I watched it, actually. I think I read it. And I probably read the first, 20 volumes, I want to say. I couldn't even tell you where I got to. Probably would have been somewhere with Aizen, which may not be volume 20. May have been way before that. Or Aizen, or however you say it. A-I-Z-E-N. I'm not a hater of Bleach or Tite Kubo in general. Oh, now you're talking my language, Colin. Gurren Lagann. Oh, yes. Studio Trigger's some of my favorite out there. They do such good work. Love that anime. Absolutely love it. That is definitely in my top 20. It's so good. It's so beautiful. Simone. I still make references to my drill will pierce the heaven. Let's see. Jerome, what evidence would you need to see that would cause you to doubt Christianity? I really think that part of my life is past. I hear a lot of people talk about deconstructing and that kind of stuff. But most of the time, what I find that people deconstruct is their childhood. You know what I mean? I think it's bad instances of religion being put together by bad actors. And I am so incredibly fortunate to not have had that. And so I don't think that there's really much. I have a really strong faith. And I've done the research. I've done the work. I've been to seminary. I've talked to the people. I have conversations regularly with atheist agnostics and everything in between, right? And I don't know. It's a good question. It's interesting, but I can't say that I have a good answer. Oh, she says big fan. I'm guessing of is that Gurren Lagann? Gurren Lagann. What about Fooly Cooly? Fooly Cooly. What a weird one. I would not put that one in my favorites, but I do really like Fooly Cooly. So weird. Dungeon Meshi. adaptation. As my resident super fan of that manga, very, very happy. I've enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it. Let's see. Twyla says, can confirm, for my part, deconstructing on Christianity, not so much Christ. Yes. Yes, I agree. That's where I'm at as well. Well, no, it's not where I'm at, but it's where I am, my understanding of the experience of deconstruction, as it were. I really am thankful. Oh man, what a good random time that was, huh? All right, folks, I'm towards the end of my walk here. I'm going to start wrapping up. Thanks for hopping in the stream. We are Checkpoint Church, really a church. I'm your pastor, I'm the pastor of this community. We are glad to have you on this channel, posting nerdy sermons every Sunday, except for this Sunday. We're taking a week off. We're over on twitch.tv/checkpointchurch 3 times a week. And we're on Discord 24/7. So I would encourage you to find those links, join in the places, and yeah, glad that you've been here. Folks, before you go, we got 3 things we believe that every single one of you out there really believe in God. Don't believe in God, go to church. Don't go to church, hate God or hate church. Number 1, that God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number 2, we love you, want community with you. Number 3, that you, yes, you matter. You're a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place because you are in it. Folks, that until the next time that I see you. Catch you around Discord or Twitch or for our next random YouTube walk. Bye!